Abstract, employee benefits are undergoing a fundamental transformation from standardized, compliance-driven programs into personalized wellness ecosystems that address the full spectrum of worker needs. This article examines how organizations are reimagining benefits architecture to support physical health, mental well-being, financial security, and caregiving responsibilities through integrated, technology-enabled platforms. Drawing on contemporary research and organizational practice, the analysis identifies key drivers of this evolution, including workforce demographic shifts, rising healthcare costs, and intensifying competition for talent, and documents their measurable impacts on productivity, retention, and organizational performance. The article presents evidence-based strategies organizations are deploying across communication, program design, and technological infrastructure, supplemented by real-world examples from diverse industries. It concludes by outlining 3 forward-looking capabilities organizations must develop: adaptive personalization systems, equity-centered design processes, and responsible AI governance frameworks. Practitioners gain actionable guidance for transforming benefits from transactional offerings into strategic enablers of workforce resilience and competitive advantage. The traditional cafeteria-style benefits model, where employees select from a fixed menu of health insurance, retirement plans, and perhaps a handful of wellness perks, is giving way to something fundamentally different. Today's leading organizations are building comprehensive wellness ecosystems that recognize employees as whole people with interconnected needs spanning physical health, mental resilience, financial stability, and family caregiving responsibilities. This shift isn't merely cosmetic repackaging. Research from Willis Towers Watson indicates that organizations with highly effective well-being strategies report 11% higher revenue per employee and 1.5 times higher employee engagement compared to those with less developed approaches. Willis Towers Watson. 2021. The business case has crystallized. Holistic benefits aren't a cost center to minimize but a strategic investment that directly influences talent attraction, workforce productivity, and organizational resilience. Several converging forces are accelerating this transformation. Demographic changes mean 5 generations now work side by side, each with distinct life stages and benefit priorities. The mental health crisis, amplified by pandemic-era stresses, has made psychological support a baseline expectation rather than a nice-to-have perk. Meanwhile, financial insecurity affects workers across income levels, with 78% of U.S. employees living paycheck to paycheck at some point in 2023, American Psychological Association. 2023. Add the caregiving demands of aging parents and young children, often simultaneously, and the inadequacy of traditional benefits becomes starkly apparent. For 2026, 3 themes dominate the benefits landscape: personalization, matching offerings to individual circumstances; fairness, ensuring equitable access and outcomes across diverse populations; and responsible technology use, deploying AI and digital tools in ways that enhance rather than undermine human dignity. Organizations that master these dimensions position themselves to attract talent in competitive markets, sustain productivity through economic uncertainty, and build cultures where employees can genuinely thrive. The evolving benefits landscape defining holistic wellness in contemporary organizations. Holistic wellness in the benefits context refers to integrated support systems addressing multiple, interconnected dimensions of employee well-being rather than isolated programs targeting single issues. This approach recognizes that physical health, mental health, financial security, and caregiving capacity interact dynamically. Financial stress exacerbates physical symptoms. Caregiving demands intensify mental health challenges. And poor physical health creates financial burden through medical costs and lost productivity. Contemporary holistic benefits ecosystems typically encompass 4 core pillars: physical health, beyond traditional medical insurance to include preventive care, chronic disease management, nutrition support, fitness resources, an ergonomic workplace design, mental and emotional well-being, clinical mental health services, stress management resources, resilience training, peer support networks, and crisis intervention, financial wellness, emergency savings programs, student loan assistance, retirement planning, financial coaching, flexible compensation structures, and hardship relief funds, caregiving support, childcare assistance, eldercare navigation, backup care services, flexible work arrangements, unpaid family leave. The holistic approach differs from previous wellness initiatives in three fundamental ways. First, it integrates rather than silos supports, recognizing that employees experience challenges across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Second, it emphasizes proactive enablement rather than reactive problem solving, investing in preventive resources before crises emerge. Third, it acknowledges that well-being is culturally and individually defined, requiring personalized rather than standardized solutions. Mercer, 2024. Prevalence, drivers, and current state of practice. The adoption of comprehensive wellness ecosystems varies significantly across organization size, industry, and geography, though the trajectory points unmistakably toward expansion. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, 88% of organizations offered some form of wellness program in 2023. Up from 76% in 2019, with larger employers more likely to provide comprehensive offerings. Society for Human Resource Management, 2023. However, comprehensiveness varies dramatically. Some wellness programs remain limited to gym membership discounts, while others provide integrated digital platforms connecting dozens of specialized services. Several factors are driving this evolution. Workforce demographic complexity, with baby boomers delaying retirement. Generation X managing dual caregiving responsibilities. Millennials facing student debt and first-time home ownership. And Generation Z entering the workforce with distinct expectations around mental health support. No single benefits package serves all populations equally. Organizations recognize that one-size-fits-all approaches satisfy no one optimally. Rising healthcare costs and chronic disease burden. U.S. healthcare spending reached $4.3 trillion in 2021, with chronic diseases accounting for 90% of this expenditure. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 2022. Employers increasingly view upstream prevention and proactive disease management as financial imperatives, not just humanitarian gestures. Mental health crisis and psychological safety. The prevalence of anxiety and depression increased substantially during the pandemic and has not returned to pre-2020 baselines. The American Psychological Association reports that 77% of employees experienced work-related stress in 2023, with 57% reporting negative impacts including emotional exhaustion and decreased motivation. American Psychological Association, 2023. Organizations face mounting pressure to provide meaningful mental health support. Talent competition and retention economics, with turnover costs averaging 50 to 200% of annual salary depending on role complexity. Benefits that measurably improve retention deliver immediate ROI. Research from Gallagher indicates that 73% of employees consider benefits and perks among the top factors when evaluating job opportunities. Gallagher, 2023. Technology enablement, digital platforms, wearables, telehealth, and AI-driven personalization tools have matured sufficiently to make comprehensive, individualized benefits delivery operationally feasible at scale, a capability that simply didn't exist a decade ago. Despite growing adoption, implementation quality varies substantially. Many organizations struggle with low engagement rates, Inequitable access patterns where higher income employees utilize benefits more extensively. And fragmented vendor ecosystems that create confusing user experiences. The gap between leading and lagging practice remains wide, creating competitive advantage opportunities for organizations that execute effectively. Organizational and individual consequences. Organizational performance impacts. The relationship between comprehensive benefits and organizational outcomes extends beyond intuitive assumptions to measurable business metrics. Organizations with mature wellness ecosystems report tangible improvements across multiple performance dimensions: talent attraction and retention. Comprehensive benefits significantly influence employment decisions. Research from MetLife found that 73% of employees are more likely to stay with employers who offer benefits that meet their evolving needs, while 61% would accept a job with lower compensation if it offered better benefits. MetLife 2023. For employers facing talent shortages, this trade-off calculus creates strategic opportunity. Specific retention improvements vary by industry and baseline turnover rates. But organizations implementing comprehensive wellness programs commonly report 5 to 15% reductions in voluntary turnover. Productivity and presenteeism reduction. Poor health, physical or mental, manifests not only in absenteeism but in presenteeism, where employees are physically present but operating at reduced capacity. The Integrated Benefits Research Consortium found that comprehensive wellness programs reduced presenteeism by an average of 19% and absenteeism by 27% among participating organizations. Health Enhancement Research Organization 2022. Translated to dollar terms, presenteeism costs U.S. employers an estimated $150 billion annually, making even modest reductions financially significant. Healthcare cost management. While wellness programs shouldn't be evaluated solely on medical cost savings, organizations with mature programs do see favorable trends. A longitudinal study tracking Fortune 500 companies found that comprehensive wellness initiatives yielded average healthcare cost savings of $3.27 for every dollar invested, with the strongest returns coming from programs that integrated physical, mental, and financial well-being rather than focusing narrowly on physical health. Baxter et al. 2021. Organizational resilience and adaptability. Benefits ecosystems that address financial stability and caregiving needs enable employees to weather personal crises without catastrophic career disruption during economic downturns or organizational changes. Employees with stronger well-being foundations demonstrate greater adaptability and lower stress-related performance declines. Individual well-being and stakeholder impacts beyond organizational metrics. Holistic benefits create tangible improvements in employee quality of life and family stability, financial security and stress reduction. Financial wellness programs that combine emergency savings support, debt management assistance, and planning resources measurably reduce financial anxiety. Employees participating in comprehensive financial wellness programs report 32% reduction in financial stress and 45% improvement in financial confidence. PwC 2023. This matters profoundly for families living paycheck to paycheck, where unexpected expenses can trigger cascading crises. Mental health access and outcomes. Expanded mental health benefits, including teletherapy, coaching and preventive resources, remove traditional barriers of cost, stigma, and access. Employees with access to comprehensive mental health benefits are 60% more likely to seek help when needed and report 28% improvement in mental health symptoms compared to those with limited access. Lyra Health 2022. Caregiving sustainability. Family caregiving responsibilities, whether for children or aging parents, create substantial strain. Employees lacking adequate caregiving support report higher rates of burnout, reduced work hours, and premature workforce exit. Conversely, robust caregiving benefits enable parents and family caregivers to remain engaged in their careers. A study of working parents found that access to backup childcare services reduced work absences by 40% and stress-related health problems by 35%. Bright Horizons. 2021. Health behavior change and chronic disease management, integrated physical wellness programs that combine preventive screenings. Chronic disease management and lifestyle support help employees manage conditions like diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. Participants in structured programs show measurably better health outcomes, for example, 15 to 20% improvements in blood pressure control and 12 to 18% reductions in diabetes complications, which translate to improved quality of life and longevity. The stakeholder impacts extend beyond employees themselves. Family members benefit from improved household financial stability, reduced caregiver stress, and better health outcomes. Communities benefit when employers invest in workforce well-being, reducing demand on public health and social services. These broader effects, while harder to quantify, constitute meaningful social value creation. Evidence-based organizational responses personalization architecture. Moving beyond one-size-fits-all, the most significant innovation in contemporary benefits design is the shift from standardized offerings to personalized ecosystems that adapt to individual circumstances, preferences, and life stages. Evidence demonstrates that personalized benefits achieve higher engagement and superior outcomes compared to generic programs. Organizations are implementing personalization through several mechanisms. Advanced benefits platforms use data, demographic information, voluntary self-assessment responses, and anonymized utilization patterns to generate individualized recommendations, rather than presenting all employees with identical benefit menus. These systems highlight options most relevant to each person's situation. A recent graduate might see student loan repayment assistance and entry-level retirement planning, while a mid-career employee with young children sees childcare support and 529 college savings plans. Effective personalization approaches include dynamic needs assessment, brief, periodic surveys that identify changing circumstances, new child health diagnosis, family caregiving responsibility, and automatically surface relevant resources. Life event triggers, automated outreach when major events occur, marriage, home purchase, health claim patterns suggesting chronic condition, connecting employees to specialized support, preference-based filtering, allowing employees to prioritize what matters most to them and customizing communications and recommendations accordingly. Multi-channel delivery, recognizing that younger workers prefer mobile apps while others favor personal consultation, and providing multiple access pathways. Flexible spending accounts, allocating benefit dollars that employees direct toward their highest priorities rather than predetermined categories. Johnson & Johnson has pioneered comprehensive personalization through its Energy for Performance program, which combines biometric screening data, voluntary health risk assessments, and individual goal setting to create customized well-being plans. Employees receive personalized recommendations across physical activity, nutrition, stress management, and preventive care. The company reports that participants show sustained improvements in health metrics and 34% lower healthcare costs compared to non-participants, with engagement rates exceeding 80% due to the personalized approach. Johnson & Johnson. 2022. In financial services, Bank of America implemented a personalized financial wellness platform that adjusts recommendations based on career stage, salary level, debt burden, and financial goals. Rather than generic retirement planning webinars, employees receive targeted guidance, debt payoff strategies for those with high student loans, home purchase planning for first-time buyers, or eldercare financial planning for those approaching retirement. The bank found that personalized financial wellness support reduced financial stress by 40% and improved retirement preparedness scores by 25%. Bank of America. 2023. Manufacturing firm Cummins took a different approach to personalization by creating flexible work arrangements tailored to diverse operational contexts. Rather than implementing uniform policies, the company empowered business units to design flexibility within parameters. Recognizing that factory floor workers need different solutions than office-based professionals. This localized personalization increased employee satisfaction with work-life balance by 31% while maintaining operational performance standards. Integrated digital platforms, creating seamless user experiences. Traditional benefits administration creates frustration through fragmentation. Employees navigate separate portals for health insurance, retirement accounts, employee assistance programs, wellness initiatives, and voluntary benefits. Each vendor maintains its own login, interface, and customer service system. This complexity suppresses utilization and creates inequitable access patterns favoring employees with higher digital literacy and more time to navigate bureaucracy. Leading organizations are addressing this through integrated benefits platforms that provide single-point access to comprehensive resources. These platforms aggregate multiple vendors behind unified interfaces, enabling employees to access physical health, mental health, financial wellness, and caregiving support through one dashboard. The integration extends beyond technical architecture to include unified communications, coordinated care across service domains, and consolidated data analytics. Characteristics of effective integrated platforms: single sign-on architecture, one login accesses all benefits. Eliminating password fatigue and navigation confusion. Mobile-first design, assuming employees will primarily access via smartphones. With desktop as secondary channel. Intelligent search and chatbots, natural language queries, I need help paying for childcare, route to appropriate resources without requiring employees to understand organizational taxonomy. Coordinated care management, when employees access mental health support and simultaneously work with financial coaches. Those providers can coordinate with consent to address interconnected challenges. Consolidated claims and spending tracking, visibility into healthcare spending, flexible spending accounts, and benefit utilization in unified dashboards. Embedded decision support tools, calculators and comparison features helping employees evaluate trade-offs and optimize benefit selections. Walmart launched its redesigned benefits platform serving 1.6 million associates, integrating health insurance, prescription coverage, vision and dental benefits, mental health resources through Headspace Care, financial planning tools, and educational assistance programs. The platform includes personalized recommendations, voice-activated navigation for accessibility, and real-time chat support. Following implementation, benefits engagement increased 42%. With particularly strong gains among hourly associates who previously experienced the greatest access barriers. Walmart. 2023. Technology company Salesforce deployed an integrated well-being platform called Thrive Reset that embeds micro-interventions throughout the workday. The platform integrates with calendar systems to suggest brief mental resets between meetings, surfaces relevant resources based on detected stress patterns, and connects to the company's broader benefits ecosystem including mental health services, fitness programs, and financial planning. This ambient integration, meeting employees where they already work rather than requiring them to visit separate platforms, achieved 73% active user engagement compared to typical wellness program engagement rates below 40%. Healthcare organization Kaiser Permanente, with deep expertise in integrated health systems, extended integration principles to its employee benefits. The organization's workforce benefits platform connects occupational health services, employee assistance programs, preventive care, chronic disease management, and family caregiving support through shared electronic health records and coordinated care teams. This integration enables seamless warm handoffs when an employee contacts the EAP about stress, The counselor can immediately connect them to medical providers for assessment of stress-related physical symptoms, creating continuity impossible in fragmented systems. Financial wellness programs, addressing the security foundation. Financial insecurity undermines physical and mental health, creates retention risk as employees seek higher-paying opportunities, and reduces productivity through distraction and stress. Comprehensive financial wellness programs address this foundational need through multiple mechanisms spanning emergency assistance, debt management, savings incentives, and planning support. Contemporary financial wellness extends far beyond traditional retirement planning to address immediate financial challenges and build long-term capabilities. Research from Morgan Stanley indicates that employees participating in comprehensive financial wellness programs reduce high-interest debt by an average of 23%, increase emergency savings by 58%, and improve retirement preparedness scores by 34% within 2 years, Morgan Stanley. 2022. Evidence-based financial wellness components include emergency savings programs, employer-facilitated accounts with automated payroll deductions, often including employer matching or seed contributions, student loan repayment assistance, direct payments toward employee student loans, tax-advantaged under the CARES Act extension, or refinancing support, earned wage access, allowing employees to access earned but not yet paid wages for emergency expenses, reducing reliance on predatory payday lending. Financial coaching, one-on-one sessions with certified financial planners addressing debt management, budgeting, major purchases, and retirement planning. Hardship grants and loans, employer-funded emergency assistance for unexpected expenses that might otherwise trigger financial crisis. Targeted programs for life events, specialized resources for first-time homebuyers, new parents facing childcare costs, or employees managing aging parent expenses. Investment in financial literacy, education programs building fundamental money management skills. Starbucks has developed one of the most comprehensive financial wellness programs in the retail industry, addressing the acute financial challenges facing hourly workers. The company offers emergency savings accounts with employer seed contributions, backup care, financial assistance, mental health benefits that include financial stress counseling, and education reimbursement covering full tuition for online bachelor's degrees. Critically, the company provides certified financial counselors who help partners, employees, create personalized plans addressing debt, savings, and major financial goals. The program has improved retention among newer partners by 16% and increased employee financial confidence scores by 41%. Starbucks. 2022. PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, implemented innovative student loan assistance as part of broader financial wellness, contributing $1,200 annually to employees' student loan principal regardless of loan amount. The program also provides access to refinancing advisors and financial planners who help employees optimize repayment strategies. Beyond direct financial impact, the program generated substantial retention benefits. Employees participating in student loan assistance showed 36% lower turnover than non-participants. PwC found that the retention ROI more than justified program costs, even before considering productivity and engagement improvements. Construction and engineering firm Bechtel addressed financial wellness through an earned wage access program, allowing employees to draw on accrued but unpaid wages when facing emergency expenses. The program reduced employee reliance on predatory payday loans by 68% and decreased financial stress indicators by 29%. Importantly, the company structured the program to avoid predatory features, no interest or fees, accessed through financial coaching to ensure appropriate use, and integrated with broader financial planning support to address root causes rather than just symptoms of financial instability. Mental health and emotional well-being, building psychological resilience. The mental health crisis affecting workforces globally demands comprehensive organizational responses extending beyond traditional employee assistance programs. Leading organizations are building multi-layered mental health ecosystems that provide preventive resources, early intervention, clinical treatment, and crisis support while simultaneously addressing workplace factors that contribute to psychological strain. Comprehensive mental health benefits generate measurable improvements in employee well-being and organizational outcomes. Research from the National Alliance on Mental Illness indicates that organizations with robust mental health programs see 33% reduction in absenteeism, 28% decrease in short-term disability claims, and 23% improvement in employee engagement. National Alliance on Mental Illness. 2022. Evidence-based mental health program elements include low-barrier therapy access, teletherapy, in-person counseling, and digital mental health apps providing immediate access without primary care referrals or lengthy wait times. Stepped care models, matching intervention intensity to need severity, self-guided resources for mild stress, coaching for moderate challenges, clinical therapy for diagnosed conditions, preventive and resilience-building resources, stress management training, mindfulness programs, sleep optimization support, and peer support networks addressing mental health before crisis manager training and psychological safety, equipping leaders to recognize mental health challenges, have supportive conversations, and create team environments where seeking help is normalized. Crisis intervention and suicide prevention, 24/7 crisis hotlines, immediate access to emergency mental health services, and workplace protocols for managing acute situations. Stigma reduction campaigns, leader storytelling about personal mental health experiences, mental health days as standard practice, and visible organizational commitment. Integration with physical health and caregiving, recognizing that mental health interconnects with physical health conditions. Caregiving stress and financial anxiety. Unilever developed a comprehensive mental well-being program called Luminate spanning 149,000 employees globally. The program provides unlimited access to licensed therapists through both teletherapy and in-person options. Mental health coaching for subclinical challenges, meditation and mindfulness resources through the Headspace app, and manager training in psychological safety and mental health conversations. Critically, Unilever conducted extensive stigma reduction campaigns featuring senior leaders sharing their own mental health journeys. Mental health resource utilization increased from 11% to 34% following these initiatives. And employee mental well-being scores improved by 26%. Unilever. 2023. Technology company SAP implemented Mental Health Allies, a peer support program training employees to provide initial support and resource connections for colleagues experiencing mental health challenges. The program combines formal mental health benefits, including therapy access and crisis support, with grassroots peer networks. The company found that employees reporting mental health challenges who connected with mental health allies were 47% more likely to access professional treatment and reported 31% greater satisfaction with workplace support. The peer model was particularly effective at reaching populations that historically underutilized traditional EAP services. Delta Airlines addressed the unique mental health challenges facing flight crews and frontline aviation workers through a specialized program combining aviation psychology experts, peer support networks of fellow crew members, and workplace accommodations enabling employees to take mental health time without career penalties. The program was developed after recognizing that traditional EAP services didn't adequately address the distinct stresses of aviation work. Following implementation, mental health-related disability claims decreased by 19%, while resource utilization increased 58%, suggesting employees were accessing help earlier before reaching crisis points. Caregiving support infrastructure, enabling family caregiving responsibilities for children, aging parents or family members with disabilities, create substantial workforce challenges. Employees lacking adequate caregiving support reduce work hours, decline advancement opportunities, or exit the workforce entirely. Organizations that provide comprehensive caregiving support enable employees to sustain career engagement while meeting family responsibilities. The business case for caregiving support is compelling. Research from the Harvard Business School found that comprehensive caregiving benefits reduce turnover among working parents and family caregivers by 22 to 35%, improve productivity by 18%, and deliver ROI of $2.40 for every dollar invested through retention and productivity gains. Harvard Business School. 2021. Effective caregiving support elements include subsidized childcare, on-site or near-site childcare facilities, partnerships with childcare providers, or direct subsidies offsetting costs, backup care services, emergency childcare or elder care when regular arrangements fail, preventing employees from missing work, elder care navigation and resources, specialized support helping employees find, evaluate, and coordinate care for aging parents, generous paid family leave, extended leave for new parents, elder care responsibilities, or family member illness, flexible work arrangements, remote work options, flexible scheduling, compressed work weeks, or part-time arrangements accommodating caregiving needs, dependent care, flexible spending accounts, tax-advantaged savings for childcare and elder care expenses, caregiver resource and referral services, expert assistance connecting employees to community resources, navigating insurance and managing care, coordination, support groups and peer networks, connecting employees facing similar caregiving challenges for mutual support and knowledge sharing. Microsoft developed a comprehensive caregiving support ecosystem recognizing that employees face diverse family responsibilities across life stages. The company provides 20 weeks of paid parental leave for birth or adoptive parents, backup childcare for 40 days annually, elder care assessment and coordination services, and a $10,000 annual subsidy for adoption or fertility treatment expenses. Additionally, the company offers specialized support for employees with children or family members with disabilities, including assistance navigating educational services and healthcare systems. Following program expansion, parental leave utilization increased to 94%. Return-to-work rates after parental leave improved to 96%. And employee engagement among working parents increased 28%. Microsoft. 2022. Patagonia, the outdoor apparel company, has operated on-site childcare centers at its headquarters for over 30 years. Viewing childcare as essential infrastructure rather than optional perk. The centers serve children from infancy through school age, with fees subsidized significantly below market rates. The company reports that 100% of women who take maternity leave return to work, compared to a national average of 79%. And overall turnover among working parents is 75% lower than industry benchmarks. Patagonia's analysis indicates the childcare program generates positive ROI through retention alone, before considering productivity and engagement benefits. Accounting firm Ernst & Young, EY, addressed the growing eldercare challenge facing its workforce through EY Eldercare, a comprehensive program providing access to geriatric care managers who conduct assessments, develop care plans, coordinate services, and provide ongoing support. The program includes backup eldercare services when regular arrangements fail, support groups for family caregivers, and flexible work arrangements. EY found that employees using eldercare services were 40% less likely to reduce work hours and 52% less likely to decline advancement opportunities compared to employees managing eldercare without support, directly impacting talent pipeline and organizational capability. Building long-term capability, equity-centered design, ensuring fair access and outcomes as benefits ecosystems grow more sophisticated. Organizations face the risk of inadvertently creating or amplifying inequities. Personalization algorithms may reflect historical biases. Digital-first delivery may disadvantage employees with limited technology access. Complex benefit structures may favor employees with higher financial literacy or more time to navigate options. Building equity into benefits design requires intentional focus from initial conception through ongoing evaluation. Equity-centered benefits design begins with recognizing that equal access doesn't guarantee equitable outcomes. Offering the same resources to all employees may leave some populations underserved if those resources weren't designed with their circumstances in mind. For example, standard retirement planning education assumes stable employment and surplus income, assumptions that don't hold for many hourly workers facing irregular schedules and tight budgets. Organizations building equitable benefits ecosystems focus on several key practices: disaggregated data analysis, examining benefit utilization, satisfaction and outcomes broken down by demographic categories, race, ethnicity, gender, age, job level, tenure, to identify disparities. When certain populations show lower engagement or worse outcomes, this signals design or implementation problems requiring correction. Inclusive design processes, engaging diverse employee populations in benefits design through focus groups, advisory councils, and co-design workshops. This ensures that programs reflect the actual needs and preferences of all workforce segments, not just the most vocal or visible populations. Proactive outreach and support, rather than passive, build it and they'll come, approaches. Equity-centered organizations conduct targeted outreach to historically underserved populations, provide one-on-one enrollment support, and reduce administrative barriers that disproportionately affect certain groups. Multimodal delivery, offering multiple ways to access benefits, digital platforms, phone support, in-person consultations, printed materials, recognizing that not all employees have equal comfort with or access to technology. Language access, providing benefits information and enrollment support in languages employees actually speak, with professional translation and bilingual support staff. Bias auditing in personalization algorithms, when deploying AI-driven recommendations. Regularly auditing to ensure algorithms aren't systematically underserving protected groups or reinforcing historical inequities. Target Corporation conducted a comprehensive equity analysis of its benefits ecosystem and discovered significant disparities. Lower-wage hourly workers, disproportionately workers of color, utilized health benefits and wellness programs at much lower rates than salaried employees despite facing higher rates of chronic health conditions and financial stress. In response, Target redesigned benefits with explicit equity goals. The company reduced healthcare premiums and co-pays for hourly workers, implemented on-site health clinics at distribution centers where many hourly employees work, provided one-on-one benefits counseling in store break rooms, and created specialized financial wellness programs addressing challenges like irregular work schedules and transportation costs. Within 2 years, the utilization gap between hourly and salaried workers decreased by 54%, and health outcome disparities narrowed measurably. Responsible AI governance. Deploying technology ethically. Artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies offer tremendous potential to personalize benefits, predict employee needs, identify at-risk populations, and optimize resource allocation. However, these same technologies raise profound ethical concerns around privacy, algorithmic bias, autonomy, and the appropriate boundaries of employer insight into employee lives. Organizations must develop governance frameworks ensuring that technology enhances rather than undermines employee well-being and dignity. This requires addressing several tensions. Personalization benefits from data but risks privacy invasion. Predictive analytics can enable proactive support but may feel intrusive or manipulative. Algorithmic decision-making can increase efficiency but may embed or amplify bias. Responsible AI governance for benefits includes privacy protection and data minimization, collecting only data necessary for stated purposes, using the minimum viable data for personalization, and maintaining strict separation between health data, performance data, and benefits utilization data. Transparency and explainability, ensuring employees understand what data is collected, how it's used, and how algorithmic recommendations are generated. Avoiding black box systems where employees receive recommendations without understanding the logic. Human oversight and appeal rights, maintaining human review for significant benefits decisions. Avoiding fully automated determinations that may miss context or make errors. And providing mechanisms for employees to appeal or question algorithmic recommendations. Algorithmic bias testing, regularly auditing AI systems for disparate impact across demographic groups. Testing whether recommendations differ systematically by protected characteristics. And correcting biased algorithms before deployment. Voluntary participation and opt-out rights, making data sharing and personalization features opt-in rather than mandatory. Allowing employees to access benefits through non-personalized pathways. And ensuring that opting out doesn't result in reduced access or stigma. Purpose limitation, using benefits data only for benefits administration and employee support. Never for performance evaluation, workforce planning decisions, or other purposes outside the original collection context. Vendor governance, extending these principles to third-party benefits administrators and technology vendors through contractual requirements. Regular audits and accountability mechanisms. IBM implemented comprehensive AI governance for its employee benefits systems after recognizing the ethical complexities. The company established a cross-functional AI ethics board with authority to review all employee-facing AI applications. The board developed specific guidelines for benefits AI, including requirements that employees can always access human support, that algorithmic recommendations include explanations, that predictive models undergo bias testing, and that employees can opt out of personalization without penalty. IBM also implemented strict data governance, ensuring that benefits utilization data remains separate from performance management systems and cannot be used for workforce planning decisions like layoff targeting. Continuous learning and adaptation, building organizational agility. The benefits landscape evolves continuously as workforce needs change. New vendors and solutions emerge, regulatory environments shift, and organizational strategies develop. Benefits ecosystems must be designed for learning and adaptation rather than static implementation. Organizations building long-term benefits capability develop several practices: regular needs assessment, systematic surveying of employee needs, preferences, and satisfaction, supplemented by focus groups exploring emerging concerns and demographic-specific challenges. Rather than annual surveys, leading organizations conduct brief pulse surveys quarterly to detect changes quickly. Experimentation and piloting, testing new benefits or delivery approaches with smaller populations before full deployment. Measuring outcomes rigorously and using data to refine programs before scaling. Benchmarking and external learning, participating in industry consortia sharing benefits practices. Tracking competitor offerings to ensure competitiveness. And attending benefits conferences to stay current on innovations. Vendor relationship management, maintaining regular performance reviews with benefits vendors. Holding providers accountable for engagement and outcome metrics. And switching vendors when performance lags. Cross-functional collaboration, bringing together HR benefits specialists, total reward strategists, well-being program managers, diversity and inclusion leaders, and finance to ensure holistic thinking about benefits ecosystems. Storytelling and insight sharing, systematically collecting employee stories illustrating how benefits made a difference. Analyzing patterns in these narratives, and using insights to guide future investment decisions. Organizations that embed these practices build benefits ecosystems that remain responsive and effective as circumstances change rather than becoming outdated within a few years. Conclusion: the evolution from transactional benefits administration to holistic wellness ecosystems represents a fundamental reimagining of the employment relationship. Organizations that view employees as whole people with interconnected physical, mental, financial, and caregiving needs, and build comprehensive support systems addressing these dimensions, position themselves to attract and retain talent, sustain productivity, and build resilient cultures. The evidence demonstrates that comprehensive, personalized, and equitably designed benefits ecosystems generate measurable value, improved retention reducing replacement costs, enhanced productivity through reduced presenteeism, better health outcomes decreasing medical spending, and greater employee satisfaction strengthening engagement and discretionary effort. These aren't soft benefits difficult to quantify, they translate directly to organizational performance in competitive markets. For 2026 and beyond, 3 imperatives guide benefit strategy. First, embrace intelligent personalization that matches offerings to individual circumstances while maintaining privacy and avoiding bias. Technology enables benefits ecosystems to adapt to each employee's life stage, family situation, and preferences in ways impossible in the past. Organizations that master personalization will see substantially higher engagement and outcomes than those offering undifferentiated programs. Second, center equity in every design decision. Benefits that work well for the most privileged employees but leave others underserved fail both ethically and strategically. Equity-centered design requires examining utilization and outcomes across populations, engaging diverse voices in program development, and providing proactive support for those facing greatest barriers. Third, deploy technology responsibly through robust governance, ensuring AI and data analytics enhance employee well-being without violating privacy, amplifying bias, or reducing human dignity. The potential benefits of intelligent systems are enormous, but only if implemented with strong ethical guardrails and ongoing accountability. Organizations that integrate these principles, building personalized, equitable, technology-enabled wellness ecosystems, will differentiate themselves in talent markets, achieve superior workforce performance, and fulfill their broader social responsibility to support human flourishing. Benefits are no longer a compliance obligation or cost to minimize. They are strategic investments in organizational capability and competitive advantage. The transformation from benefits programs to wellness ecosystems is well underway. The question for organizational leaders isn't whether to make this shift, but how quickly and effectively to do so while others move forward.